week has been good to you. And it's time for another gossip sesh. So come on and get comfy. And I'll tell you what all we're going to talk about. We're going to talk about two things when it comes to Real Housewives of Miami this week's episode. And we're also going to talk about the fact that we already got the mid-season trailer earlier today, which, look, I love new content, but don't need this season to end anytime soon. We're also going to talk about Wig making her way back to Watch What Happens Live, baby. It happened last night. I'm going to talk to you all about that. And then the prison where Jen Shah is getting another very recognizable name, not for good purposes, but I'll tell you about that as well. So let's get started. Let me know. Make sure you join in the comments and talk with me. I'll come back towards the end and hit all your questions, comments, concerns, thoughts, all that good stuff. But yeah, how's your week, man? Did you watch Real Housewives of Miami this week? Because that's what we're going to start off with. So I thought it was so funny. We had that little flashback where, because basically Julia is updating Martina on the situation, where she went to Gertie's event and her texts were exposed. And I thought it was hilarious whenever it did the little flashback of Gertie and Julia. And as the fight was kind of coming to an end, Gertie said something like, you're wearing sneakers to business casual or something like that. And it panned down to Julia's shoes. And when I'd seen the whole outfit before, as all the other ladies did, Julia also looked wonderful. Then they did this little pan down to the shoes, and she had on these the sneakers weren't working for me. Look, I'm a gay man. I love white sneakers. I'll wear white sneakers in the coffin. Okay, I'll wear them to the end. They didn't work there. Not these white sneakers anyway. Not these. And I just thought that it was so funny when they panned down and did that. And it immediately gave me flashbacks to Real Housewives of Potomac. Do y'all remember? I believe they were in Portugal and they're all in the hotel, gathering for their day. And Giselle looks at Karen and says, Karen, you're ready to walk around. And the cameras pan to Karen's shoes that are literally what you'd get your grandma at Walgreens. You know what I'm saying? No offense to anybody's grandma that shops at Walgreens, but it was so funny then with Potomac, and it was so funny now with Miami. I don't know if I'm not the only one that had that flashback of Karen and Giselle in that moment, but I just thought that it was so funny. Let's also talk about the fact that these women are split onto two boats for this episode. I'm it's giving me PTSD of BravoCon whenever they have to separate Real Housewives of New Jersey into two panels and to two events, and to not be in the same room or even awake as the same time as the other, Real Housewives of New Jersey cast members from the group they're divided from. I thought that it was funny, in terms of the show, it's so petty that they're separated. But I'm also we have seen some of the greatest moments of Bravo come from these women being trapped on a boat together, not tied together, and so I kind of wish that they had put them together. I don't know. But I just thought that it was interesting that they were willing, they divided them, but still brought them together, by tying the boats together. Also, I'm not a yacht person, clearly, but it made me real nervous watching them tie that together. I was like, aren't y'all going to bang and mess something up? You know what I'm saying? Made me a little nervous. Something else that makes me nervous, the way Stephanie talks about money in her house. Because we've been down this road. You know what I'm saying? And when things feel a little off in the tummy, in the gut, we gotta listen. And I like Stephanie. I met her at the Housewives of Miami premiere party. I thought she was lovely. Think she is a star. Something about that house scene did not feel good to me, where she's showing Larsa the house. I don't know what it is. Something feels phony. Is that bad to say? And for example, she's over here saying, oh, we're going to have a housewarming party. All the ladies will be invited. In what lifetime Baby, y'all need to have dust masks on. This is a construction scene. No parties are happening here anytime soon. To even be thinking about the guest list, some of these people might not even be alive by the time that this house party happens. That's how long it's given future. It's given way future. And so I'm saying that to say, she's talking about, oh, we're gonna do this party and invite everyone, and here's my house. And I'm like, why would you even bring cameras here right now? Number one. And number two, it's like you're trying to keep momentum under it, like keep things exciting, keep people to want to come back, keep production wanting to come back. And it just, I don't know, something about it fell off. And then I thought, okay, my Herdat sisters over at Reality Court, Ace and Anna, y'all know Anna went to law school. She's a lawyer, so she's already 10 times smarter than me. So, and I just want to say, when they pulled up, they did the little scene at the house. I believe it was when they showed Larsa pulling up. I saw the home and I was like, okay, mansion. But then when she said like 44,000 square feet, I was like, now listen, I don't know an inch from a mile. I do know that didn't look like 44,000 square feet. It's not given Biltmore Estate. It was given mansion, not Biltmore Estate. You know what I'm saying? And so that was kind of, where I think my tummy started being like, da, 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 da. And then you start walking around. I'm like, I'm not seeing 44,000 square feet. I'm not seeing 44,000 square feet. And then we get to the closet where it's 1,000 square feet. I'm in a studio apartment that's like 700 square feet. That also wasn't given 1,000 square feet, And then she starts talking about her wall of Birkins. I love nothing more than a wealthy woman. Why are we here? That's why we're here. That's why we're viewers of this show. It is the origin in which brought us to these programs. Show me the Birkins. Show me the Birkin wall. Show me the housewarming party. Show me anything but dust. It's given it's given Chateau Charay. What I'm going to visit, sticks, in the words of Nene. You know what I mean? And again, love Stephanie. I just, as a viewer, we've seen this before. And I'm like, don't send yourself down a path of crazy, crazy expectations, because the moment one little thing is off, alarm bells are going off around you. You know what I'm saying? And they're kind of already, I'm seeing the light. They're starting to light up a little bit, And I want to say that because I was talking about Anna and Ace. Anna, the attorney, she did her research. Also, she knows the Miami ladies, obviously. They showed the documents on their recent episode. The house is like half the size of that, or a little more than half. Like, it was nowhere near 44,000 square feet. And something about in Miami, square footage is either determined or labeled or also categorized off of what is under the AC. So I guess like outdoors is different than whatever. I don't know. And even that all combined together still wasn't 44,000 square feet. So either Stephanie was in math class with me, or somebody's not being honest. And I personally hope that we were in math class together and I just missed her. I did skip class a lot. I did. And maybe she did too, because it seems like both of us are awful at math. But it's not adding up. It is not adding up. So I also wanted to, on the heels of Housewives of Miami, Gabbing with Gibson, y'all, Gibson Johns, love Gibson. He talked to Matt Anderson, who is one of the EPs of Real Housewives of Miami. And if you don't know the history of the people that have created Housewives of Miami, they've had their hands in incredibly iconic reality programs for decades. So they know what they're doing. But I wanted to celebrate and point out the fact that, there's always discussions about ratings and stuff like that. We've talked about it here on YouTube Live before. And, it's no secret Miami took a break years ago. And there has been like some chatter and concern online with low live ratings that, fans are like, we can't let this happen again, like support the girls. And it was interesting to hear Gibson talk with Matt about that, because Matt assured Gibson that Miami's streaming numbers are more than healthy, I believe is what he said. And that they are right up there with other Housewives franchises. So I don't want to say just keep streaming. I mean, watch live if you can, DVR it, and then stream it. But I did appreciate that, because I don't like to go to sleep at night fearing that I'm going to wake up and I've lost Larsa again, But no, for real, it was interesting to hear, an executive from his role discuss that. And seems to me that there's lots of confidence around their Housewives of Miami and their performance, as it should be, because it's the best. It's the best. Also, they say time flies when you're having fun, and since it's the best, maybe that's why it's already almost over, because mid-season trailer dropped today. I feel like we just started. We just met Stephanie like 2 weeks ago. Yes, she came in late, but still. So mid-season trailer dropped today. Have y'all seen that yet? Let me know. It's really good. It's giving fire. It's not anything that was really revealed or covered or hinted at in the trailer. So it's like the original trailer. So it's all new story and developments and drama to look forward to, So first thing that shocked me was that there's a scene, and it's like they do look kind of like they're out, maybe a little intoxicated, but there's a quick from Julia to Gertie. And that, which is just so jarring to see right now, especially given like the last week's episode and this week's episode, and the the tension between them. So I'm really curious of where that comes from, or what the context of that is. We also see, listen, Julia is working this season, but not in a good way. She's being put to work because she's like kind of fighting with a lot of people, but I don't necessarily know that she's winning any of it, like, so I'm saying that because we also start to see the fallout of her and Adriana, who I believe wasn't Adriana her entry into the show. I mean, that was her original connection. They've been friends for years. So we start to see their fallout. It seems like Adriana is having some sort of issue or insecurity, perhaps, about Julia befriending some of the other women. And I, excuse me, I get that from Adriana. I do. Because, like, if that's your friend, and not only have you heard and witnessed what I've gone through with them, but you have had your own experiences in addition to witnessing me, your friend, go through things. And now it's like you're just kind of moving on and forgetting all that. As adults, we all have to move forward in a way. As adults, we all have to try and, I think, find some sort of peace and common ground. As adults, we're not all on reality programs where we're forced to interact with each other. However, the theme does kind of carry throughout into everyday life, where you do kind of have to keep going. However, you got to go it with some grace, and to let your friends know, like, I always got you, like, no matter what, if I'm cool with them, like, you're my friend, and so it's a tough place to be, even in real life. But I'm seeing this, the scene in the mid-season trailer, and Adriana really just feels that Julia is fake, and is kind of just becoming one of them. And it's weird because breaking the fourth wall, like, we all know your jobs are to engage with one another, and so it begs the question. It's like, Adriana, like, what do you expect her to do? But also, then, is Adriana just creating content? I don't know. So just very interesting to think about. And, you know, it also is interesting timing considering the performance we're seeing from Julia on camera, where be it, you know, throwing the drink and just I feel like there's a lot of random things happening around her. And it seems like it could lean on the side of am I just trying to make sure that I'm on TV and make sure I'm giving and engaging, and I'm losing track of perception of reality because my reality is now whatever this show needs. You know what I'm saying? And so I don't know. It will be very, very interesting to see because I feel like Julia does have a job to do. I also feel like Adriana has feelings that are completely valid. So what do you do with that? You know? I mean, it's interesting. And this is why we sit at home and watch and then get paid the big bucks, because no, I'm a Cancer. If I was on reality TV, there ain't enough therapists in the world. Like, I'm getting betrayed by producers, friends, execs. I would lose it. Lose it. No Cancer should ever be allowed on reality TV. We stay at home, girlies. We stay at home and we watch. Okay. Speaking of staying at home and watching, that's what I did last night when Kim Zolciak Wig Bierman made her grand return to the Watch What Happens Live Clubhouse. And listen, you can say what you want about Kim. None of us out here necessarily trying to be Kim. Ain't none of us, you know, taking Kim's one-liners and adding them to quotes and providing them to our children as inspiration and a roadmap of which to live your life. We're not doing that. What we are doing is watching the TV when Kim Zolciak is on it, okay? Because she's good TV. It is what it is. It's just fact. Anybody that has ever gotten behind the wheel of a car in broad daylight with the top down and a cup of wine and a cigarette down, blaring songs that you intend to sing, knowing good and damn well that you probably shouldn't, I need year-round coverage. I do. And so she did nothing but remind us of that last night, because I just think that Kim is such a natural on TV. She's just kind of wonky and wacky and silly and, you know, funny. And I also want to say Kim looked better than ever on Watch What Happens Live this week. She wore like an all-white number. The hair was looking good. The wig was looking good. She just looked incredible. And, you know, I know that, look, again, not the moral compass necessarily, but she just, I mean, it was good to hear from her. You know, she's been through a lot in the last couple of years, and we had constant updates on her and with her family for years. And then right as things really, really got chaotic, we kind of lost that connection with them as viewers. So just interesting to hear her talk about, you know, having the rug pulled out from under them. She talked about, Andy asked her about borrowing money from Ariana. And do I think she necessarily told the truth about borrowing that money from Ariana? Absolutely not. But the fact that Kim Zolciak is even on TV acknowledging it and talking about it, well, I guess because she has to, is crazy, you know? So, and then, oh my gosh, yes, KM talking about how her wig being on display was iconic. So she's talking, that's what I'm saying. She's talking about selling stuff to make money. And one of the things she was selling were her wigs. And she said she had no idea that Andy had bought a wig until she was printing out, like, I think the shipping label or whatever, and saw that it said like NBC in New York. Brilliant. They should buy the whole collection. They really, really should. Also, they revealed that she will be at BravoCon. So if you're going to be at BravoCon, I'll see you there. And we'll also be seeing Kim Zolciak. So yeah, you know, it was good to hear from her. And I think it did absolutely nothing but underscore and provide more reason why her is like a friend role in Atlanta or something, especially with the impact that Next Gen NYC has had and Ariana being a leading figure on it. We got to have Kim back in the Bravo sphere. I'm sorry. I just think we do. And she is, she's a Housewives icon. And I just want to say, for Katie, who is, you know, still, you know, relatively a newbie in this world, how iconic that she got to go and watch What Happens Live and be with Kim, you know, very, very cool. We're going to wrap up with a little bit of a jaw dropper. regarding Jen Shah, and that's that she's getting a new prison mate, y'all, and it's Ghislaine Maxwell. You heard that right. Saw today that, you know, she's been talking to like the feds or whatever, and I think she's going to be dropping some names, and she's getting rewarded for it. And she got moved to I don't know if it's lower security, but I think it's just more lux. They said she can buy things there. And, you know, being a Bravo fan, I'm now a prison expert. And so the moment I saw Texas prison with perks, I said, FCI Brian, baby, she's going to be Jen Shah's roommate. I scroll down. Sure as hell, I was right. She's going to FCI Brian. So I actually think she's already there, because I posted on Instagram about her getting transferred, and people are like, she'll never make it, like conspiracy theory saying that they'll, you know, the administration or whatever will take her out on the way. But according to the articles I read, they make it seem like she's already there. So she already was safely transferred, it seems. And, you know, Jen, baby, you have been given more time off of your sentence than I've ever seen before based off good behavior. We're almost there, girl. Don't get involved with her. Don't even talk to her. Do get some gossip from the people that do, though, and bring that back to us, please and thank you. Maybe go find out some stuff for her, and then turn her own game on her. Go give her information on her to the feds, and Jen will be out filming Salt Lake tomorrow. Boom. There's that. All right. Well, as we start to wrap up, I'm going to go back and look at your comments. Let's see. KM said, why were they split up? Couldn't Bravo get a larger boat? Maybe it was the last minute thing, and it was like a logistical issue, and they framed it as, you know, oh, we'll just split them up. Who knows? And in that case, kudos to them for the creativity and the pivot, you know. But I don't know. The aggressiveness of Stephanie insisting that they tour the house. Xana, hi Xana. Xana, where are you watching from? When Larsa wasn't interested, gave a desperate vibe. Okay, thank you. See, I struggle to put things into words sometimes. Like, I know, but it just fell off. Yes, and maybe it was that Larsa was like, girl, well, I don't care about this. Who do you think I am? You know, like, very, very, very weird. KM, doesn't Bravo vet them? Yes, and sometimes we have to wonder, is that vetting poor or is that vetting intentional, and therefore they put the poorly vetted people on TV? Xana wants to see those receipts in the Miami ratings. You don't believe it? I do, because I feel like online and on Twitter and everything, like, it's such a topic of conversation. It just is a topic of conversation the morning after when it's available for streaming, you know? All right, fans, friends, and family, love y'all. And yeah, thank you for coming and hanging out with me this week. I can't believe it's August. Time flies when you're whipping it up. That's what I always tell Vicky. So I love y'all. Thank you so much for coming and hanging out with me. And we're going to do it all over again next week. Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 3 p.m. right here on Her Dad's YouTube. And for the love of God, I've said it 18 times. Bravo, please give us the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City trailer. We need it. We need it. Ghislaine and Jen can watch it in prison together. Maybe that's what they were waiting on. Look at that. When we make plans, God laughs. So, ha ha. Bezos, everybody.